Hi guys. So I'm going to show you how I did my Spring Hope mani, this one right here. And I'm going to, so on here, right here is, I just did like a French, a sheerish French, base on here. And I am going to do it on, I'm going to show you samples of, well, we're doing it on this. So I already have it prepared and I put a mat on it so you can kind of see. But see how you see the blue tack layer, underneath, unfortunately, but hopefully we'll cover it up with flour. And then I also did them in a pale pink, and so I'll show you that, later. So let's get started. So there we go. Hopefully you saw them. Okay, so first of all, I used this plate right here. And this one is CJS LC13, and I just wanted to use this lupine. I really wanted lavender flowers, but I don't think I have any yet good image, so I'm using this lupine and it'll work just as well. And so see if you can see how I used it here and I used it down here. And so all I'm doing is I'm doing the lupine on the two middle ones, and then the other ones I didn't do it. But you could do it however you want. And so let's go ahead and get started. So first we're going to do that. And so what I did is on this one down here, I'm not using these other layers. I'm just going to, you can, but I just used this one. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And I'm using my Clear Jelly Stamper Big Bling, my new one. So let me get that out of the way so you can see it better. And then also I'm going to use my What's Up Clear Jelly Stamper also. So these are reverse, they're called reverse stamping. So you stamp it and then you color the back and then put it on the nail. So some people call it reverse decal. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to use, let's see, no, I'm just going to use this one here. And green, kind of an apple green from Maniology. And I will put the names of all the stamping polishes and products that I use in the information box. So I'm going to go ahead and put the green on first. We'll put it down here where the leaves are and the stem. Just makes it easier to do it this way. And then I'm going to put this on the flower part. Okay. And then I'm just going to scrape it. I'm going to scrape it from right to left. And then go ahead and just roll it up. And let me get this little bit off. And there's that. So that's what it looks like. So I think we're going to go ahead and do our, let's see. So we're going to do, let's do this one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from here to here. Okay, so let me show you after I get it off. So see how I switched? So first of all, I did half to 2/3 of the flower, depending on how big your nails are and how much you want showing, but at least half. Excuse me. And I started out doing it, from one side. So it started on this side, and then this one is the opposite, and then the opposite, and then the opposite. And then the same thing I did with the lupine. I'm putting the lupine in a different position. On one of them I put it up, going towards the side that's cut off. And on the other one I did it going down from the side that's cut off. So if that makes sense. So we're going to put our flower here, in other words. So if that, hopefully, okay. Anyway, so first we have to do our flower. So I used another plate for that. Now, you don't have to do, if you don't care about the lupine or you don't want to, you don't have to do that plate. This is the main one. This is the most important one because this has got the flower on it, and I used this smaller one. And there is a set of leaves right here, so you can use these leaves. I didn't, just because I wanted a different shaped leaf, but you can. And then all you'd need is this one plate if you didn't do the lupine. So anyway, we're going to stamp this one here. And I'm using Maniology again. It's kind of a magenta, I would say, a magenta color. That purpley, deep purpley pink color. And I'm going to also, and the way I'm going to do it to make it also a little bit easier is I'm going to put that magenta around the petals. Now, since you're not using a whole flower, unless you are, if you're putting the whole flower in the center, then of course you have to do all the petals. But if you're doing it the way I did it, you really could leave out a petal or two if you wanted to. But if, just to make sure you get it really good, it might be easier just to do the whole thing and then get on as much as you, want to put on. Gives you more choices too if one of the lines doesn't pick up perfect. But anyway, right now I'm going to put the magenta, cover all these petals around here, and then put the yellow in the center. So let's do that, and let me go around it just like that, and we're putting all this in here, and then put a dab a little yellow in the center. So let me show you what I got going here. Okay, so I'm just going to dab a little bit. You don't want too much in the center there. And then I'm going to scrape it. I think I'll go this way. And then I'm going to roll to pick it up. And try and get it the best that you can. Now see, one of my little petals didn't get all the way, but that's okay because we don't need that one. So now we're just going to color this in with the white polish. Now you can use acrylic paints if you want to. That, they dry really fast. Because you don't want to overdo it with your polish. I'm going to use Maniology's Bam White. And you don't want it to be too dry, and you don't want too much, on there. So I'll do the best I can to show you. Hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Hopefully I can see what I'm doing, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing. You don't want to have to swipe too much. And you know what? If this is too hard, then go ahead. This is going to be funny. I hope I'm going to be able to get this good. I got to look at it a second. Sorry. You want to keep it in the lines the best that you can, and you want to be careful because you don't want to swipe too much. So, you can check and see how it looks see, I'm out of the lines, but that's okay. This one is not going to be perfect for sure. But you can look through here, see, as you're doing it, to see, if you have it as perfect as you want to, I'm going to see if I can get a little bit of that, dab a little of that. Oh, hopefully I can. I'm not going to worry about it. It's going to be fine because you could put your leaf over that part anyway, if you needed to. So I wonder if you could see it this way while I'm doing it. Well, we could try it that way. Probably not. So I think I'm just going to make a bigger mess. So I think I better stick with what I was doing. So hopefully you'll be able to see this. So I'm trying but like I said, you can use a little detail brush, You don't want too much polish on here. It'll never dry. Now I go around and do the petals, but you don't have to do it that way. You could do it, the center at the same time if you want to. I usually do it after I do all the petals. It seems to be drying. Oh, this light's drying this polish faster. I was trying to figure out what was going on because it wasn't doing it earlier. Okay, so anyway, it's all right. These lights here, the heat is drying it. Okay, so we just got to fill in one more. And then I'm going to go over the center part, the yellow, just to give it a little more, pop with the white behind it. And if you want to, you can put, do that white down a little bit further, even though you're not going to do that petal, just so that the white's covered your nail and then you don't have to add polish there in case something's missing. So not perfect, but doing it backwards and the way I'm doing it, I think it's close enough. So that's what it looks like. So now we're just going to let this dry. And while that's drying, we're going to get our... So since I put this, I should have already put some smudge-free top coat on it, dang it. Maniology smudge-free top coat. That's okay. I'm going to do it right now. But if you do the lupine like I did, or lavender flowers like I did, then you want to put some of this over it before you use this other polish I'm going to put on. Otherwise, you'll smear it. So I'm just swiping it on. You can do it over the whole nail. You don't have to. I just did it most, around most of that. And it doesn't take very long to dry, luckily. It dries pretty fast, the smudge free. Okay, so while that's drying over there, let's check our flower and see how our flower is doing. And by the way, so what I did was I just, since I had several that I did, I have several stampers, and so I had the flowers all drying on the stampers, stamped on the stampers, sitting there drying, kind of all at once, so I could use one at a time without just, it taking quite as long. So if you have, they don't have to be the big clear stampers, they can be the Maniology's smaller, clear double stampers or whatever, whatever you've got, but it's just faster if you can do it this way. So I'm going to go ahead and set this one over to let it dry. I have one that's already dry here that you can see is there. It's most of the flower. And hopefully our smudge free is not quite dry enough yet. So I'm going to use the blow dryer a little bit here to dry this smudge free the rest of the way, since I didn't get it on there already. It would have been dry. Oh, and on this one, what I did was I used this ASP. It's like my favorite. It's for French manicures, so kind of a sheer, opaque, sheerish, pale pink, and it's called Pink Whisper. I absolutely love it, and that's what I used, on here and on these here, and then I'll show you the other ones later and tell you what I used. So hopefully this is dry enough. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to use LA's Colors base coat, top coat, and I love this for things like this because it leaves like a tacky layer, and Dollar Tree, so you can't beat that. Okay, so I'm just going to get a fair amount on here, and then you have to figure out where you want your flower. So I know I want my flower coming up, 2/3 of the way this side here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cover. Now you could put this tacky over the whole nail if you want to. I'm not going to. I'm going to just do it from where I'm going to be putting the flower. So like that. But if you aren't going to put it over the whole thing, you definitely want to make sure you don't put it so you got a thick ledge anywhere, or a funny, or a funny spot anywhere. Okay, so now we just want this to dry just, maybe 30 seconds or 20 seconds, or just once you get used to using it, you'll know, how long to leave it. Not very long. You can use a blow dryer, you can just let it air dry, but, for the sake of time. You don't want it to dry all the way though, because then it won't do you any good at all. You want it to stay tacky. So we still have it tacky. You don't want it too wet though, because you don't want it to smush. So, okay, I think this is good. So my flower is going to come, so this edge, that not quite flat edge, but this edge that I chopped off one of the petals, I'm going to put that, line it up with this edge here, and over that larkspur, so that the larkspur will be, or the lupine will be in the back. Okay, so I'm going to press it. I don't want to stop because I don't want to mess it up, but I don't know, hopefully you can see it. So let me look, because I sure don't want to mess this up. Okay, so there it is, and there's some, little extra right there, so I'm just going to kind of go like, take my finger or my thumb and go like that. Now, this is a tip, of course, and it's not on your finger. So on your finger, I just, I did the same thing, actually. I pressed it, I pressed the side like that carefully. You don't want to do it like that. But on the side like this, I just kind of pressed against it to make sure that it was all the way down on the nail part. And then what wasn't, I just turned my nail over and used these, tweezers to carefully, pull it away from it. But you don't have to do that. It might be, you might, especially if you're not used to doing these, you might want to use just your cleanup brush. And I have this one from the Dollar Tree that I like, with a little bit of acetone. But be careful, because you're going to be doing it on the sides. If you get anything on your skin, just be really careful. If it's just on your nail part, then just kind of go like that. Just kind of go like that, because you're going to put top coat over it anyway. And, if there is any little teeny thing, it'll probably just peel away. So anyway, I'm just going to do that. And there's that. Now, if it, like I wasn't watching, so I wasn't totally looking in the stamper as I was doing this. So I see a little teeny bit of where it's not totally smooth. So I just kind of check it and see when it's dry enough. I just super lightly go over it, the petal going that way. And then I'll do it on this one too. But if you're worried about, messing it up doing that, you could mess it up, so you don't want to. I'm used to doing that. But anyway, you can just leave it alone. So that's our flower, and now we're just going to add some leaves. And we're probably going to do, so see the leaves on here? And I used a couple plates to do the leaves, but like I said, if you just, if you want to be able to just use one plate, then this one does have a set of leaves that go with it right there that you can use. And then, you wouldn't have to have other plates. But I decided I wanted to use different leaves this time. So I've got this one also, this third plate I'm using. It's a leaf plate, and it's CJS 26, so Clear Jelly Stampers 26 for the bigger leaves. Now, I'm not using these ginormous ones. I'm going to use the smaller ones down here, and I'm going to use the blank one and the one next to it, and that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now, and I'm using this, apple green. And let me go ahead and do that. And then just like any blank space, you want to do like a 45-degree angle. I like to go from 45 down a little lower, actually. And I like to do it from a diagonal, because I think I have better luck just that way. Okay, so this one actually is on my What's Up Nails Clear Jelly Jumbo Clear Jelly Stamper. So anyway, there's our little leaf. So we're just going to put that, let me see, how did I do that? Okay, so we're just going to put it in between the petals. You really could do it anywhere that you want to, but I better hurry up before I can't use it. So I'm going to put it right there, right there. So hopefully you can see that, and just kind of roll it off. So there's that blank space for the leaf. And then I'm going to do another one. Let's see. I'm going to do another one either down here or right there. I kind of like a little bit of space, but I might do it there. Anyway, wherever you want to, in between them petals is what you can do. So I'm going to go ahead and do that blank space again. And you can do 2 leaves, or you can do 3 leaves, or whatever you want. I did 2, and some were 2 and some were 3. So I'm going to put this one down. Oop. I'm going to put this one down here like that. Okay. And so we've got both of our blank space leaves there. And then if you wanted to do a third one, like on, so see how I did like this one? Wait a minute, let me look a second. Okay, so just like I, varied the flowers on which side, I alternated on which side the flowers went. I also did that with the leaves, as far as like this one's got 3 leaves, this one's 2 leaves, this one's 3 leaves, this one's 2 leaves. So anyway, but you can do it however you want. I just love these flowers. I love the, the colors. I think they're really pretty. So let's do a spine on it now. And here, let me fix my Clear Dahlia stamper. I get sometimes heavy-handed and then push it down too far. Okay. Anyway, so I'm going to do the little spine now on. So first on one of them, I kind of like to alternate. I'm going to do this one on one, and then I'm going to do a little leaf spine on the other. But I'm going to use a different color. I'm going to use this one by Maniology. It's kind of like a pale lime, kind of, yeah, more lime than mint. It works great for giving some highlight to the leaves. So let me roll this. Okay, gotta take off what we don't want. Okay, so there's that. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this one on this leaf here. Okay, so let me do it this way. There we go. Okay, and just roll it off. There's that up there. And then we're going to do a little bit different on the next one. So I'm going to go back to this plate, the first plate, which had the lupine on it. And I'm going to use their little, actually no, I'm going to use, you could use their, now if I do 3 of them, I use their little leaf here. But just to vary the top, you know, that highlight layer, I'm going to use this spiny kind of leaf spine right here on the bigger one to go with the leaf I have. Okay, anyway, I hope I'm not making this confusing. So I'm going to roll. Okay, so hopefully you can see this. There's our little leaf spine. And we're just going to put it straight over that leaf right there. Okay, so let me get going in the right direction. Like that. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let me fix my nail here a second. There we go. It's a little bit, you have to let this flower dry good because it's, you know, all that polish and everything. So you have to be careful for a while. You can go ahead and do the leaves and stuff, but just, you know, like when I was trying to press that thing down, I have to be careful. Remind myself. So we've got, you know, all that done now. And like I said, the only thing is you want to make sure that you know, that these are dry before you put your top coat, because you don't want to get any bubbles or, you know, you don't want to smush anything. And for a top coat, I just use the Maniology Smudge Free Top Coat because it works great, and I didn't have any problem, you know, doing that. There's one other little thing that I did do on mine that I was going to show you real quick, hopefully, is, so if you see how it looks, it doesn't need anything else. It's really pretty just like it is. But on mine, see those dark magenta kind of spots on there? I added that with a dotting tool. I just liked it. You know, I just liked the little extra add. So the dotting tool I used is really small. Hopefully you can see that, really small. And I just took some of that, you know, the Maniology magenta. And I'm just going to take a little bit, just, you know, put a little on there. And then I'm just going to do one little dot off, because I don't want these too big and I don't want too much. And I'm just going to put it down. Hopefully you can see it. I'm just going to do like, I don't know, 3 to 5, I would say, just kind of wherever you want them. And then the solid ones, go back in carefully in the same exact spot if you can, and just go over the solid spot. Just kind of press over the solid spot. Okay, I don't want to mess it up. I'm going to do it this way. Anyway, it just takes some of that away so it looks like a white spot in it. If that makes any sense. Anyway, just kind of fun. You don't need to do it. I made that one a little too big because I wasn't looking at it. That's all right. Art is not perfect. And it's kind of like perfectly, imperfectly perfect, if that makes any sense. So now I would just, let me see if it feels like it's dry. It feels like it's dry. Just, just lightly touch. And I would just put my smudge-free top coat over it, which I got a new bottle, yay. And I love that I got it quick from, it's from Hawaii. Okay, so I just get a generous amount and I go down the middle and then side to side. No smearing. And like I said, it dries quick. You could even do a second coat if you wanted to, after you do all your nails. You could do a second coat, or you could put whatever if you have a favorite top coat that you like better, or a gel top coat or a matte top coat. But I would do the smudge-free top coat first, the Maniology. And so, that's really it. That's all I did. So let me show you my other samples that I did. So my Mani on my display. And so you can see how I alternated them from side to side. And the pink ones, so I don't know if you can see the difference. Let me see. Okay, so here's like mine with that, sheer French pink on the ends. And then these are on a soft pink. And the pink, and you might not be able to tell the difference with my camera light. Sorry if you can't. But this is Baby Doll by True Gel is the soft pink that I used on these three middle ones. So I love this Mani. It's just really fun. It's cheery, and as you saw, it's easy to do. A little time consuming, but fun. So I hope you have fun doing this, and thank you so much. Please like and subscribe and click on the bell icon above so that you'll get a notice on my next tutorial, which will be soon. Thank you. Bye, guys.